to Who C2C News at 6 p.m. My name is Jeff, and his name is
Paul. Hi there. Welcome to News at 6 p.m. Was that good?
Very good, yeah.
Is that the kind of thing you wanted?
Came up that on the spot. So,
Urgent news.
No, that spoils the theme music I've applied.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, for this week's episode, we thought we would take a look at some of the recent happenings in the Whoniverse now that San Diego Comic-Con has taken place. First of all, RDJ is returning to the Marvel Universe.
And what's that got to do with Doctor Who?
Well, it's exciting. Obviously, there's a plethora of film news, and there was Doctor Who news as well.
Yeah,
we had,
Doctor Who.
A panel that took place. So the couple of things to discuss include the announcement of the not at all secret The War Between the Land and the Sea show.
They've been talking about spin-offs ever since Russell T Davies took the reins back from the BBC, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And is it? Well, we can have a unit spin-off. We can have some kind of monster, Cybermen, Daleks, Sea Devils, Silurians. Or what are we going to have? What's it going to be? Are we going to have Torchwood back even, or something else? So when news finally kind of low-key sort of broke through the noise online, it was like, oh, okay, that's what it is. So what is it? What is it then?
Seen that heard rumours of it. So I'm guessing it's some sort of unit thing.
Well, Gemma Redgrave's in it, isn't it? So I mean, that's all we got really. We can just sort of take it from the people who are in it, and there's one key name there. So it's probably gonna involve units, isn't it?
And Russell Tovey and Gugu Mbatha Raw in it as well, and people wondered if they were unit members. But I saw, I think it was Doctor Who Production News shared a repost from a while ago that was Bad Wolf looking for actors for prosthetic makeup tests who fit the description of what Russell Tovey and
could be Silurians or something.
So they could be Silurians or Sea Devils, which would be quite interesting because obviously, if you're going to have also I think the show title is terrible. If you're going to have
it might just be a working title.
Maybe, but I doubt they would have announced it. Well, it could change. It could change, of course.
The war between the land and the sea. I don't know. I think it's kind of like those old Edgar Rice Burroughs sci-fi fantasy novels of, the turn of the century or 20s, whenever they were out. It's like that old-fashioned kind of sci-fi thing. You know what I mean? The war between the land and the sea. Dun, dun, dun. Marvel in terror as aliens rise from the sea. Kind of thing,
Yes.
Quake, shake, rumble. No? Okay. It's like a B-movie sort of thing again, isn't it?
Yeah.
No? Yeah? No? You're not convinced?
Don't know. We don't know enough about it really yet.
No, we don't. That's why we're doing this episode of the podcast, though, to kind of make rumours come true. That's the idea. Hearsay and rumour.
If the two sort of lead actors are Silurians or Sea Devils or whatever, I think it would be, it gives it quite a strong focus then on, humans and the monsters.
Maybe they're not Sea Devils or Silurians at all.
Well, they might not be.
It could be a completely different race of creatures or completely different war. Maybe Russell and Pete McTighe just kind of teasing us or something with a title that bears no resemblance to the actual content of the show at all.
It could be.
You fans out there, you nutters, fans reading stuff into everything. You nutters, you thought it was going to be a war between land and sea because that's what we told you. Yeah, well, you're a bunch of pricks because it's got nothing to do with that at all. It's actually about landmines or something, Mate, who knows in the wacky world of Doctor Who these days what it can be, eh?
Yeah. Well, it starts filming next month or September, so I'm sure we'll find out more soon on it. So yes, we will discover more on that. So
well, it's interesting.
Also...
Well, hold on, just one sec, because just talking about that cast list for a second, right? Because I've seen a bit of noise online about people sort of wondering, because obviously Russell Tovey's been in it before, right? So he was in Voyage of the Damned with Kylie Minogue. He was like lieutenant on the Titanic ship, wasn't he? If I remember. And Gugu Mbatha-Raw was Tish, Martha Jones's sister.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
and Gemma Redgrave obviously is what's her name? I can never remember her bloody name.
Kate Stewart.
Kate Stewart. That's it. I'm so sorry, Gemma. Kate Stewart. Yeah, because she's massively memorable in that role. But obviously I say obviously she's probably 99% playing that character, right? So what's to say that the other two aren't playing the same characters? Well, that's ridiculous, because we can't, could we really have Tish Jones and the guy from the Titanic back in? Well, no, doesn't have to be like that, I suppose, does it? Because they could be completely different.
Apparently they're playing different characters.
Of course they are. Yes, they're just coming back in the way that Mr. Bronson returned in Doctor Who many, many times, and obviously Peter Capaldi and Karen Gillan. They played different people, different times, and Colin Baker, obviously.
Yeah, it's not uncommon, is it?
It's not uncommon at all. Not as uncommon as you might think, mate.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So it'll be interesting to see. What's going on with that?
Are you looking forward to it then? What's your, are you excited? A Doctor Who spin-off? Does it?
Yeah, I mean, I like Kate Stewart, and particularly the unit stuff from Big Finish has been really good. So hopefully might dive into things with her a little bit more and build on her character off. I'll wait to see. We talked about it before. I'm not sure that the monsters work well enough on their own without the Doctor as their foil.
So if it is Silurians or CWs, you mean that?
Yeah, but if you've got them against Unit, then you've got something there. So I'll watch it, of course, and see what it's like.
Well, I listened to a thing on my phone. Because we were talking about Big Finish the other day and what have you, and I did download it because it was a Big Finish promotion, and I was able to download the first Unit box set for like £5.
Yeah.
And that has like the opening episode. That's like 20 minutes with Nicholas Courtney and a few others on it. Kind of sets the scene for what follows. But it's the Silurians, right? Coming out and doing their thing, and they form a pact between the humans of Earth via Unit, or there's Unit and there's another sort of super secret organization kind of battling against each other, and they're both and this other organization is looking to control the Silurians. But the Silurians, because they're a race of very different people, some are good, some are bad, and some inhabit the grey area in between. So they manage to kind of get on Unit's side. But although that story's never really that's not what happens in the other three stories, but it's kind of just in the background, sort of bubbling away. So I wonder if they'll dig into that. Probably not, but maybe it's another sort of take on it, I guess, perhaps.
Yeah, be interesting to see. Anyway,
yeah.
So the other announcement was a sort of crossover between Star Trek and Doctor Who.
The game.
Yeah,
you're a big Star Trek fan, aren't you?
Oh yes, yeah. I love Captain Stephen Janeway Picard. I used to watch Next
Just go
Generation.
back to Robert Downey Jr., honestly.
I haven't seen that won't make sense because I'll have cut all that by now. So they had a joint panel with I'm not sure who it was from Star Trek who's in charge of one of the shows that's on now. With him and RTD, but then they've announced this. I don't know if it's a game on its own. I think it's that Doctor Who Lost in Time game with an add-on to it. It is
exactly that, my friend. It is. Yeah. It's a historic crossover. This is reading from the Doctor Who internet site. It's a historic crossover between East Side Games' Doctor Who Lost in Time and Star Trek Lower Decks from August the 1st, which is just a couple of days away as we're sort of talking about this, really.
Which will have been out by now, won't it?
Which will be out by the time you'll listen to this. And it features a sort of picture with the Doctor Who logo, Star Trek logo, and there's a couple of guys on there. I must admit, I have watched Star Trek Lower Decks, But I haven't seen it for a while. It looks like it's Boimler and Mariner standing astride. Guess what Doctor they've chosen to go with there, Jeff? Could it be the current 15th Doctor or any one of the other popular Doctors from way back when? Guess who it is?
As the 15th Doctor made comment about Star Trek in his
Indeed, yeah.
Space Babies
there,
episode.
And was there in the panel as well, presumably.
Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't he? Yeah.
You'd think they'd go for him.
Of course they would, because he is the face of Doctor Who. Or apparently not, actually, because it's David Tennant's Doctor, the 10th Doctor, quite obviously. They're standing in the middle with Daleks in the background. But, you know, that's the world we live in, mate. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's fans of the mobile game, and I'm sure it's fine. It's not for me. I'm not massively excited. But then, you know, I'm a grizzled old geezer with grey hair, so it doesn't matter, does it? Really? Do you know what I mean? The kids, I'm sure, will love it. If they like Star Trek or Doctor Who, possibly. And maybe it's a nice way to kind of bring fans of the two of these things together. Possibly, you know, I'm glad it's taken the form of something like this, because if it happened in the actual TV show, in either TV show, I would probably hate it. To be fair, Star Trek Lower Decks is quite irreverent anyway. It's sort of very obviously takes the piss out of the whole of Star Trek. Yeah. It's like the sort of bad little brother, the naughty little brother of the very serious main shows that you get. And it's all animated anyway, but it's quite funny, you know. It's a sort of Rick and Morty kind of humour, which if you like that, it's great. If you don't, it's probably not so great. And if you're not the sort of person who likes Star Trek to laugh at itself, then yeah, Lower Decks is not for you. But I've watched it, and it's quite fun. So I've no idea what the game's like. I haven't played the Doctor Who game either, so can't really comment on that. But yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, I think it's quite good that they've done it. You know, two big sci-fi brands coming together there. I think it's a further show of you know, confidence in Doctor Who. You know, Star Trek is produced by, you know, an entirely different organisation to Disney or BBC. So, you know, it's not like it's you know, into corporate branding between those companies. You know, it's something external. So I think that's really good. I haven't played the game. I'm not really sure what it's like. I think you kind of play different story elements and puzzles and stuff in it. I think Thomas Beach maybe plays it, so he might be able to tell us a bit more about it. It is a bit disappointing seeing 10 on the, you know, the front of it, but you know, like you say, it's the world we live in now. A lot of the comments on Twitter, why is it the Doctor from 15 years ago? 10 again? Come on, guys. Where's Shooty?
Yeah, that's the point. 15 years ago now, right? This is like being in the 80s, and the Doctor is represented by Tom Baker or Pat Troughton.
Yes, it's a bit of a shame to have the 10th Doctor fronting this. I mean, maybe he's seen as, you know, the most popular, but, you know, which, you know, may well be. But the show's still going. We've got a pretty much brand new Doctor fronting it, and it just seems a bit like, regardless of like my feelings about 10 turning up, I don't understand why the main current Doctor is not fronting this thing that's getting a big push, you know? It's like...
Yeah, it would help the current series, wouldn't it? You know, the current iteration of Doctor Who, if they featured the current Doctor a lot more, rather than constantly going back to, like you said, a Doctor who was, you know, great guy, loved David Tennant, but yeah, 15 years ago now. Or
it's longer than that, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, was it? No, 2010? 2010-11, he regenerated into Matt Smith, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was 14 years ago.
He appeared in 2006.
Hey, did he?
Yeah.
Have I just missed a whole bunch of years? Yeah.
When did he with Eccleston? 2005.
Yeah, 2005. So yeah,
and then Tennant appeared the next year.
Yeah, in 2006, and regenerated in 2010.
Yeah. So yeah, he hasn't been in the show.
I'm not wrong.
For...
Phew! Thank goodness.
No, you're not.
It made me doubt myself, my own existence there for a minute.
Yes, he's been in it for 18, 19 years. You know. But, so yeah. Anyway, I'm sure the game is good. I just think it's a shame that they're not using the current Doctor.
Well, who knows? Maybe they do have other Doctors in the game. I don't know.
They do have them in the other game, yes.
Do they?
But I think,
But the promo features the 10th.
Yeah. He shouldn't be fronting it. That just seems madness to me.
Dear.
So the other thing that we got was a little clip from this year's Christmas episode.
Hold on. Sorry, mate. Just one sec. I've just been reading through the Gumf on it as well, actually. And they also team up with the legendary River Song in the game.
Why?
It's the game. Leave it. Right, I wish I hadn't said that now. Right, sorry, go on. Continue. What were you saying?
So the other bit of news that we got was a little clip from this year's Christmas special, which is called Joy to the World, and is written again by Stephen Moffatt, returning for the second time.
Who doesn't like a Stephen Moffatt Christmas special, hey? And if you don't, what's wrong with you people? Honestly, he's done some brilliant Christmas specials over the years. Oh, yes, he has. Just look at them there. Lovely they are.
I bet Joe Ford doesn't like.
Is he not a fan of Chris?
No, he's not a big
Christmas
fan
episodes?
of Moffat stuff.
I think they're pretty decent.
So there is a clip with a message from Nicola Coughlan, which is that how you say now? So I haven't actually watched this yet.
Are you going to watch it now?
Well, yeah, I can watch it now, and then I can comment. So hopefully, I don't know whether you'll hear this in the background. Possibly not. So you'll have to just. I'll comment.
I know it's coming over your headphones, isn't it? So
yeah. She's very sad she can't be in San Diego Comic-Con.
Very sad.
And she's thrilled to be joining Doctor Who.
Thrilled.
So she's Joy. Interesting.
She's Joy. Her name is Joy. This makes for riveting podcast entertainment.
Yeah,
as Jeff stares at his computer screen.
She's just sort of saying, oh, wow, so Queen's Hotel, Manchester, 1940. That's quite impressive. That's all wrecked there. There's a chap with the binoculars.
Yes, indeedy.
What's he doing?
Wartime Manchester.
Close the window, Basil. There's a... So Moff's done a few episodes in the war, isn't he? I didn't realise it was set in the past.
Well, hold on. Wait until you watch the rest of it. I was
expecting at all.
Wait until you watch the rest of it.
End of everything.
Because is it set in the war?
Oh, there's Shooty. Ham and cheese toasty and a pumpkin latte.
Yeah.
So he's just left the room. It's locked. The door's always been locked. Ooh. Orient Express. Where's the mummy? Some good music. This one's looking quite expensive, isn't it?
It is. Mm-hmm. Looks like there's been some
Disney
Disney money spent.
for it.
That's what I was thinking.
What's he up to then?
Eyebrow.
Everest. This is so Moffat, isn't it? Just leaping around. How do you... So we're now present day. Sandringham Hotel.
Mm-hmm. Looks a little less grand than the one in Manchester.
Yeah. That building looks a bit run down. She's from Bridgerton, isn't she?
And Derry Girls.
I haven't seen that.
It's fucking hilarious. Honestly, it's so funny.
That was a sparkling bit of dialogue single. Does it show? Like that.
Didn't see that one coming.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry, this is probably not that thrilling, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's quite funny just watching your face go through its mild encyclopedia of expressions as you're watching it.
There's a fly, I guess.
Yeah, she's talking to the fly.
Can't see it.
No, because you are the fly. We are the fly.
Bible. Oh.
Oh.
He thinks it's a gun.
That's quite funny. With the hairdryer. That is quite funny, isn't it?
His smile really does light it up there, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, it doesn't really.
So what do you think? Huh?
It's obviously very Moffatt, and I quite like the sort of jumping between the time zones. I already want to know why is he going around with a ham and cheese toastie and a pumpkin latte. What's all that about? Who's she? What's going on there? Doctor's obviously looking for her, and there's a suited Silurian, which is quite unusual as well. So yeah, okay, it looks quite good fun. Kind of intrigues me enough already. It's probably quite good they showed something like that rather than like a big, I don't know, actiony adventure sequence or something, because that's setting the tone, I think, a little bit more.
Maybe
what's going on.
Yeah, this shows the kind of hopping. I do wonder though if that whole sequence, or at least most of it, is the pre-credit sequence.
I wonder if we'll go back to those people.
Yeah,
Probably
well, that's
not,
the thing, because they're either really integral to the story, and we're backwards and forwards between lots of different time zones and places that are somehow interconnected by something incredibly clever and Stephen Moffat complex, or it's just it's a bit of a cheap shot,
So that's it.
Get the viewers hooked into something.
Yeah,
it could be completely different. Like, what was it? The widow, the wardrobe. What was it?
Yeah, widow, wardrobe, and that one.
That one anyway, because that opens with a big sequence in space, doesn't it?
Yes,
where the
it does, and the ship explodes,
scrambling
and stuff,
out of an airlock and ends up travelling downwards. And then, of course, we had that sort of 12 Doctor series, series 12 trailer, right? Which featured Movellans and Daleks and Build and everything, and that wasn't really kind of what we got, was it?
No.
We did get it in pretty much the same but slightly repackaged way.
Yes.
So it's either really, really exciting and an intriguing story, or again, we probably might have just been sold something which isn't going to deliver. I'm sorry, I'm sounding really negative, but I think I've been scarred by Series 1. I think I'm on the edge. I think I'm on the defensive now when it comes to new Doctor Who. I'm thinking, like, are they just pissing around with us, or are they actually looking to entertain us now? You know what I mean?
I mean, watching that clip there, if those different time zones come back and are relevant to it, cool. But if it's just like you're saying, a thing to draw you in at the beginning there, well, we could have started on Joy perhaps and almost just come straight in at her going to the hotel.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's nice to see lots of different things.
It is good
in
fun.
Doctor Who, swapping between the Orient Express and
but I just can't help but feel stuff, it potentially is going to feel pointless. and I really. Oh, sorry, just saying. But I quite like him just coming in and going, cheese and ham toasty, and that would have, her reaction. That'd be brilliant. What's going on? How's he doing?
Yeah, without all the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully it will pay off. Otherwise, I could probably say.
I wonder if, with the inclusion of Silurian there, whether it's going to lead into the spin-off series. Perhaps, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. It could be a little bit of background on that. Perhaps. I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But I was going to say also, check. I was kind of doing my check thing on there on Christmas episodes, and there is a taxi. Ha ha! Black taxi, black cab. Look at that. Yeah. Always every Christmas episode, man. Apart from the one with Michael Gambon in it, I don't think that had any black cabs.
No, that's.
But if it's set on Earth in a city, then it'll have a black cab in it.
Yeah.
Which made me think, because I'd actually forgotten it was written by Stephen Moffat when I first saw this. I was actually looking at it thinking, yeah, that's Russell T Davies. Yeah, that's Russell T Davies. And then it was only towards the end I thought, no, hold on, this is written by Moffat, wasn't it? So it's a different thing entirely. So maybe it's Moffat's version of Russell T Davies or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe I just need to get out more.
I wonder if Moffatt will be back.
Well, that's true anyway.
Next series. Series 2, wonder if he'll be back.
Well, I think his story, Boom, in retrospect, was one of the highlights of Series 1 for me. Anyway, that's not to say I thought it was magnificent, as you will hear if you listen to our review of that episode. But I thought it was, in the end, one of the better ones by being kind of mediocre in a way.
Yeah, a lot of people really liked it.
Oh dear,
which is great. Yeah,
I feel awful because I didn't really like.
Yeah,
Series
we
are
normally really positive, aren't we?
And every time I look at
everything.
my lovely Doctor Who magazine, which features this guy on the front, I just feel kind of ill. You know what I mean? It's just Sutek, the new Sutek, new tech.
Let us know what
Congrats,
you thought
well
of it all.
Yeah. We're in a weird place, I think. Do you know what I mean? It's this sort of limbo between one series ending and the next episode of Doctor Who, and then because when you go between, I don't know, you think between the sort of eras, right? So Jodie's era sort of finished, and then we had the Christmas specials and everything else, and then there's that wait, what's the new Doctor going to be like? What are the stories going to be like? What new people and new aliens and new situations, and just what are we going to have? It's all kind of exciting and kind of new again and everything else, and and I know there are people who loved Series 1, and well done to you guys, because it's as brilliant as like you've always said, Jeff, there's always something great in every Doctor Who episode. And, we picked out our favourite bits from each one, but on the whole, I think personally I didn't really vibe with it as much as I kind of would have liked to, and it's still kind of rearranging itself in my head. It's still settling down, which means I'll probably need to go back to it and watch it again, and I'll probably love it a little bit more. But but then having gone through that, and now we're waiting for a continuation of what's probably going to be more of the same, really. This is the tone. The Series 1 is the tone now for this Doctor. That's a scene setter. So, where else is it going to go? And it's kind of making me a little bit nervous. Do you know what I mean? Because it could literally fly off anywhere, which is good in one respect, right? Literally Doctor Who could be anything. Yeah. And it's good to have that kind of thrown back in, but it still feels like it's, I don't know, it's like the wrong kind of could go anywhere. Do you know what I mean? It could go downhill pretty badly, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm getting for. I really don't want it to. Oh, my goodness.
I think, they've already shot the next series, so no feedback on Series 1 can be taken into account.
Oh, good for them. They shouldn't. They should go ahead with whatever they think is right.
They should make it the way they want. I was going to say, they could reshoot, but they should do what they want to do.
Exactly. Don't do what the fans do. What the fans want. Sure, if you want to take fan opinion into, but the trouble is, as fans, we've all got such widely diverse opinions. Some people love it, some people will hate it. Some people will be really enthusiastic and evangelical about it, and other people will be equally passionate about their hatred of it. So where do you draw the line? You can't really, not in modern day, with everything that's spouted on YouTube, everything that goes online on Twitter and Instagram and everything else. You cannot, as a program maker, take fans' opinions into consideration. You just can't. It will drive you insane.
Yeah.
So all you can do is make the show that you want to make, and then fans will either jump on the bus or they'll get off the bus.
Yeah.
New fans will jump on, old fans might jump off, and a bit of both, and there's a bit of to and fro. But just put fuel in the bus and drive it. That's all you can do, I think.
Yeah. I think, as a showrunner and the writers, you have to stick by your vision.
Yeah, and, absolutely.
Like you say, some people like it, some people won't.
Yeah. But likes of me, I'll watch it anyway. I'm never going to hate watch. I'll watch it because I love Doctor Who, and like I said before, there'll be some episodes I don't really vibe with, but somewhere in that, it's still Doctor Who.
Yes, it is.
There'll still be something that'll get me kind of, I'm glad this thing exists in the world. I'm glad it's out there, even if I'm not particularly enjoying the stories that I'm watching, perhaps.
I'll always watch, and I Shooty will be brilliant, and Millie and that. maybe it'll vibe a bit more, but it is quite interesting, having loved, the Chibnall era, and, having seen many, many years of, it's crap and, can't believe you like it and all this kind of stuff. And now this has come out and we sort of didn't fully connect with it. And, but I think it's being able to say, well, it didn't really connect with me because it just simply didn't. It just didn't appeal to me as much.
Yeah, we've all got our own preferences and our own likes.
Yeah, and I I think, but to not be going around going, it's just awful, and you're stupid for liking it. It just doesn't. We've talked about that before. It doesn't work like
people.
that.
That's just rude, really. Yeah. There's too much of that online, to be honest. And
exactly. Yeah.
Let's not even do that. No, if you love current Doctor Who, brilliant. I love you for loving it.
Yeah.
And there'll always be people who love it, regardless of what certain others may think. So the fact is, Doctor Who is a strong property now. It's a big brand. It's recognised on both sides of the states. I mean, okay, I might have trashed the Star Trek crossover a little bit, but actually, how brilliant is that? I mean,
that's what I said. It might have 10 on the
Star Trek
front.
I mean, both of these things are massive now. Throughout my life, the three big sci-fi things that have always been constant has been Star Trek, Doctor Who, and Star Wars. They're my three big sci-fi loves in culture with a capital C. And to see two of those coming together, in this way is really something. Little mobile game. I'm glad, as I said, it's a little mobile game, because I would probably freak out if it was in the actual TV series. A little cameo, if they saw a little TARDIS in Strange New Worlds or something, and whatever, that's fine. But a full-on crossover, I just think sometimes it kind of cheapens both of them when they do that. So don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done. I don't know. Are the comics for Star Trek at the moment? They could have done something with 15 series, although that has only just started as well, but a bit soon maybe to do that. But yeah, I think it's good that they've done it, and like I said, it shows confidence in it all, and I also think the upcoming filming for War Between Land and the Sea shows that again, I mean, it may well have been the agreement up front on it to make it, but it's going ahead, so I would think that Series 3 is, quite highly likely. I know it hasn't been confirmed at the moment, but, I would have thought that would be going ahead still.
And The War Between the Land and the Sea, I don't think I mentioned it, but it's co-written by Pete McTighe, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, which is quite exciting.
Yeah, because he's done them brilliant little trailers, and of course he wrote Kablam, and what else did he write? Did he write another one?
He did... did he do... Yeah, he did do another one. He didn't do Orphan 55, did he?
No,
someone else.
That was Ed Hymes. Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's really good. And
anyway, he's really good.
Yeah, people wanted him in for a while, so we've got him now. Doing more. So I think that's really exciting.
And directed by Dylan Holmes Williams.
Yes,
who did 73 Yards.
That's right. Yeah,
Dot and Bubble, right?
Yeah, and they were nicely done, even if
they were
they
very
didn't
nicely done.
fully. Well, Dot and Bubble I thought was excellent, but
73 Yards, 73 Yards
fully worked for me.
We're going to be talking about these stories for ages, aren't we? And I do wonder, because I've only seen them once or twice, maybe. But when the dust has settled, and I go back to these when the DVD drops from my letterbox, because I will watch them again. I'll just wonder, what a kind of second viewing back to back will kind of bring to it, because that does often happen. You watch these stories and give it a few years, and you think, oh, that was lovely.
Yeah, yes, it's quite possible that will happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will go back to it all when it comes out. So there was just a couple of comments on Twitter here. So Didymus Holmes said, I'm a bit underwhelmed by all of it. The spin-off has been so strongly rumoured for months that it didn't feel like news, and I'm yet to be sold on it as a good idea in the first place. The Trek stuff was a non-event for me, and the special clip wasn't great. I'm just going to stay relatively meh about all of it until I get to see something that actually manages to entertain me again on screen. Then I'll get hyped. I'm far more excited about Season 25 box set and the Yaz and 13 audios. And let me just bring it up. Oscar Groucho says, for an industry showcase, which is kind of what San Diego Comic-Con is, it was fascinating to see how Doctor Who serves as a player on a global stage. The business model of the MCU is increasingly apparent. I expect a Matt Smith master reveal this time next year.
Oh, there you go. Praxeus. That was the other one.
Oh, yeah, Praxeus is a great one.
Yeah, co-wrote with Chris Chibnall.
Yeah, yeah.
One of my favourites, definitely.
So,
which mostly happens on a beach, which is interesting, and under the sea.
Yes, yeah, it does.
Clearly, he's got form, right? Pete's got form.
Yes, that's a very interesting point, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. You see those aliens from Praxeus. Get a bit more of what they were all about, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's you know, a consequence of all their shit that was dumped down in the Indian Ocean or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, with the whole Praxeus thing, virus thing, infection or whatever, the plastic and stuff. Ooh,
that's an interesting
that could
idea,
be interesting, eh?
Yeah.
And the Silurians are kind of somehow found it or something, and they're trying to weaponize it. That would be pretty cool, eh? See, I've got it right there. You heard it here first.
Well, I wonder if it's filming later this year. Maybe.
Yeah.
I wonder when it will go out in line with the next series. Yeah.
And then they'll stick it all out as explosive bubble wrap or something. They'll hide it in the bubble wrap. I'm joking, obviously. You know, who knows? Who knows where it's going to be on? Fart gas? Who knows? We live in that world.
Thank you very much for listening. And
is that it? Yeah, we're done. Yes.
Yeah, that was all the San Diego Comic-Con news, I think. So if you've enjoyed this little news session from us, do let us know, and maybe we can look to do some more. We'll be back again next week with more travels across the Whoniverse.
Indeed. See you next time, people. Bye for now.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Ta-ra.